Good afternoon, students. I'm Rana Khalil from Al-Bashair Typical Academy. This lesson is for 10th grade. It's reading and vocabulary lesson. Students book page number 28 and page number 29. So, first of all, open your students book page number 28 and look at the picture. We have a picture. What do you think this picture is about? Excellent. It's about prize. It's about certification for someone who won a prize. So this is a summary of our last lesson about the Nobel Prize. Now we will read and match the words and fill in the blanks. Okay. First of all, we will read the words in the yellow box. Nobel Prizes, winners, فائزين. Scientists علماء, physics فيزياء, became أصبح, when فاز. Okay. The Nobel Prize began in 1901 CE when Alfred Nobel, a Swedish scientist, founded them. Founded ضع دائرة عليها يا مس. أسس أو أوجد. Okay. You can a Nobel Prize if your work is very important. Which word? Excellent. You can win. Each year there are 6 excellent Nobel Prizes. People can win them for medicine. نعدد. Okay. Medicine, plank, chemistry, economic science, literature and peace. Physics. Excellent. Since the Nobel Prize started, there have been more than 700 what? Excellent. Winners. More than 700 winners. Okay, 700 winners. Marie Curie discovered radium and she the first woman to receive a Nobel Prize in 1903 CE. She became excellent. She also won the second Nobel Prize in 1911. Excellent. Now go to speaking exercise number 2. Now exercise number 2, it's a speaking exercise. Read the question. Can you remember? Work in pairs. Choose from each column to make sentences. We have Marie Curie, Albert Einstein, Sir Alexander Fleming, Francis Crick and James Watson. Physics, medicine, chemistry, and we have years. Okay. Now we will match the person and the field that he works in and win the Nobel Prize in it, and we will continue the year. We have the first example. Sir Alexander Fleming won the Nobel Prize for medicine in 1945. Okay. Now Marie Curie won the Nobel Prize for excellent for physics. You will continue making a sentence for physics. When in 1903. In 1903. Okay. And she also won another Nobel Prize. Can you remember? Excellent. She won the other Nobel Prize for chemistry in 1911. So she won the Nobel Prize in chemistry in 1911. Okay, now we'll go to Albert Einstein. Albert Einstein won the Nobel Prize for physics. Excellent. He won the Nobel Prize for physics when? In 1921. In 1921. Okay, Francis Crick and James Watson won the Nobel Prize for Medicine in 1962. Now we will answer them in sentences like this example, okay? I've written them to you in this page and you have to write them on your questions notebook, okay? You have to write the answers on your questions notebooks. Go now to the listening exercise. We have this exercise. Listening. What do you know about Alfred Nobel and the Nobel Prize? Discuss with your partner. Then listen to an interview with a student about Alfred Nobel and complete the table. Write and complete sentences. Now we have this table. First you will listen and then we will complete this table. Place of birth, مكان الولادة, year of birth, سنة الميلاد. Education, تعليم. Most significant invention, اللي هو أهم اختراع. And the year of death, السنة اللي توفى فيها Alfred Nobel. Okay, now I play the listening for you, the audio, and you have to listen and try to understand what the students are talking about. Okay,
Module 3, Unit 3, page 28, exercise 3. Tarek, what are you studying in history at the moment?
We are doing a project on the Nobel Prizes. Our teacher always says that they are the highest awards anyone can receive. I'm researching Alfred Nobel himself, who set up the prizes.
So, what can you tell me about him?
He was born in Sweden in 1833 CE. His father was an engineer. Alfred first studied chemistry at university in France and the USA, but then came back to Sweden in 1859 CE. He set up a laboratory with his brother Emil, and they worked on producing a safe and a useful kind of an explosive. In one of their experiments, an explosive killed Emil Nobel, but Alfred continued in his experiments, and in 1867 CE, he invented a much safer explosive, which he called dynamite. He was very wealthy, and when he died in 1896 CE, he left over $9 million for annual prizes in 5 fields: literature, physics, chemistry, medicine, and peace.
So there are 5 Nobel Prizes each year?
Actually, in 1969 CE, they added a prize for economic sciences.
So which Nobel Prize are you hoping to get one day?
I'd like to be a scientist and do research. Perhaps I'll win a prize in science one day.
so now we've listened to the two students, interviewer and Tarek. They were talking about research. Research يا مس معناها بحث. Tarek is doing a school project and his project is about the Nobel Prize. He is making his research about Alfred Nobel himself, okay? He was born in Sweden, السويد, okay? In 1833. His father was an engineer. والده كان مهندس. Alfred studied chemistry at a university in France and in the USA. He درس كيمياء في فرنسا وأمريكا, okay? But then came to Sweden in 1859. He set up a laboratory يمس مختبر, okay? With his brother Emil. So Alfred Nobel and Emil Nobel, okay? And they worked on producing safe and a useful kind of an explosive. مادة متفجرة, okay? In one of their experiments كان يعمل بعض التجارب. An explosive killed Emil Nobel, but Alfred continued. His brother Emil Nobel died, قتل في بعض التجارب لأنه حدث انفجار في المختبر, okay? but Alfred continued his experiments, and in 18 كمل experiments تجاربه. Okay, and in 1867 he invented much safer explosive which was called dynamite. Dynamite اللي هو الديناميت as we know was invented by Alfred Nobel. He was very wealthy, كان غني جدا. When he died in 1896 he left over $9 million, okay, أكثر من 9 ملايين دولار for annual prizes لجوائزه in 5 fields: literature, physics, chemistry, medicine and peace. Tariq want to be a scientist in the future and he want to win a Nobel Prize in Science. So this is the summary of what you have listened to. Now you can answer this table about Alfred Nobel, about his life and where his education and the year that he died in. I've answered it for you and there it is. He was born in Sweden, a Swede, in 1833. His education was chemistry at a university in France and in the USA. Most significant invention, أهم اختراع له, dynamite, and he was died in 1869. Okay, now we have questions about this listening that we've listened. Now we will go to this exercise. What is Tariq's class doing a project on? They are doing a project about or on the Nobel Prize. What does Tariq's teacher say about the Nobel Prize? What did he say about the Nobel Prize? That says that they are the highest awards anyone can receive. هي أعلى جوائز أي شخص بيقدر إيش يحصل عليها. Okay. Which area of science did Alfred Nobel first study? Excellent. He studied chemistry. كيمياء. He studied chemistry. What happened to Alfred's money when he died? What happened to his money? He left over $9 million for the Nobel Prize. So they are for the annual prizes in chemistry and literature, physics and peace. Okay, how do you think this project has affected Tariq's plans for the future? How do you think? كيف أثر هذا البحث في طارق? Excellent. Tariq wants to be a scientist in the future. Tariq wants to be a scientist in the future. Would you like to win a Nobel Prize? هذا السؤال إلك يا مس. Would you like to win a Nobel Prize one day? What for? And explain. I wish to win a Nobel Prize maybe in medicine. Okay? Now I've answered these questions for you. Nobel Prizes are the highest awards for anyone can receive. 2. 3. He first studied chemistry. 4. He left over than $9 million for Nobel Prizes. 5. How do you think Tariq? Tariq hoped to be a scientist and to win a Nobel Prize in the future. Yes, I hope to win it in the medical field. Okay? Okay. Now we will go to the next text. Stop the video and try to write the answers, then go to the second text. Okay? Now go to exercise number 5. Work in pairs. Do you know anything about the Nobel Prize Conference? Conferences يعني مؤتمرات, okay, أو احتفالات. Where have they been held? Okay, where have they been held? Now Now exercise number 5, work in pairs. Do you know anything about the Nobel Prize conferences? Where have they been held? Now conferences مؤتمرات, okay, مؤتمرات. Now we will read this text and we will know about this conferences. First of all, the ceremony, الاحتفال of the Nobel Prize is held in Sweden, تمام? And the Sweden king presents the prizes to the winners. يا مس الملك السويدي هو يقدم الجوائز لمين؟ للفائزين في ستوكهولم in Sweden. Okay, now read the text and check the answers to exercise number 5. In 2005 CE, His Majesty King Abdullah II, هاي يعني the second, Abdullah II Ibn al-Hussein started an important event in Petra, Jordan. Every year, many people who had won the Nobel Prize that year were invited to take part in a conference to talk about and try to solve the world's problems. Prize winners in all 6 disciplines were invited. His Majesty King Abdullah wanted to have the yearly event in Petra because of the city's history. The environment of Petra presented problems for the Nabatean people when they wanted to build a city. However, the people succeeded and now the city has many visitors from all over the world. There have been a number of conferences in Petra since 2005 CE. Famous Nobel Prize winners, along with young people from Jordan and other countries in the Middle East, talked about peace, medicine, science, and culture. It has always been a wonderful and very special event. So, His Majesty King Abdullah II, Malik Abdullah الثاني, started an important event حدث يا مس in Petra في البتراء. Every year, many people who had won the Nobel Prize that year, نفس السنة اللي فازوا في جائزة نوبل, were invited to take part in a conference to talk about and try to solve the world's problems. يعني he invited all the winners of what? Oh, excellent. He invited all the winners of the Nobel Prize. يعني عزم جميع الفائزين في جائزة نوبل للسلام وعمل احتفال في البتراء in 2005. The prize winners in all 6 disciplines يعني fields were invited. His Majesty جلالة الملك wanted to have the yearly event in Petra because of the city's history, بسبب تاريخ البتراء. The environment of Petra represented problems for the Nabatean people when they wanted to build the city. بيئة البتراء عكست المعاناة اللي عانوها الأنباط في بناء هذه المدينة. However, the people succeeded نجحوا. The people succeeded and now the city has many visitors from all over the world. Okay? There have been a number of conferences in Petra since 2005. بعدين صار لنا عدة مؤتمرات منذ 2005. Famous Nobel Prize winners, along with young people from Jordan and other countries in the Middle East, talked about peace, medicine. They gathered together and they talked about what? About medicine, peace, science, and culture. Now, this is the text, and now you have to try. Now, question number 1. Who started the event in Petra? Excellent. His Majesty King Abdullah II started this event? Why was the event held in Petra? Why? Why did the king chose Petra to make the event in it? Because the city served an inspiration وحي أو إلهام to solve different problems from all over the world. What happened at the conferences? Many people gathered together and they discuss the world's problems. Excellent. What world problems would you like to be solved the most? In your opinion, what world's problem? What are the most? Yes, I think the most important thing is to solve the pollution problems and the disease. The pollution اللي هو التلوث وديزيز الأمراض, like this at this time we have coronavirus. Okay, there we have a quotation يا مس اقتباس. Okay, quotation اقتباس. What's the meaning of it? I never see what has been done, I only see what remains to be done. Mary Curie. أنا لا أرى أبدا ما تم إنجازه, فأنا أرى فقط ما يجب القيام به. Now I've answered the questions for you. First of all, we have the first question above the text. It's check your answers. Where have they been about the conferences of the Nobel Prizes? Okay, so the answer of question number 5. The Nobel Prize conferences are held in Petra, Jordan. Many people who won the Nobel Prizes participate in these conferences to talk about the world's problems and try to solve them. And these are the answers of the questions under the text. His Majesty King Abdullah II Ibn al-Hussein, he held the participation, the conference, sorry. The city served inspiration حكينا وحي to solve difficult problems, as in the past the Nabatean people solved many problems. Okay, as in the past the Nabateans solved many problems. People discussed many world issues مواضيع, including peace, medicine, science and culture, and I hope that the people can find a solution of many disease and the pollution problems. That's all for today. Thank you and thanks for listening.